Welcome to another episode of ADTV Los Angeles. I'm your host, Jamie, your go-to for all things real estate, lifestyle, and culture. Today, we're in the coastal community of San Pedro, known for its iconic beaches like Cabrillo Beach, or moments from the USS Iowa, the bustling port of Los Angeles, Point Foreman Park, the Korean Bell, all kinds of things amazing here. And while I sometimes like to focus on the real estate, today we are focused solely on an organization that works tirelessly to save some of California's most important residents, the pinnipeds. We're here at the Marine Mammal Care Center, where we are going to meet with Dave Bader, marine biologist and chief operations and director of education, and he is going to help walk us through how they rescue, rehabilitate, release, and return to home these amazing animals. Come with me, we'll take a look inside. So Dave, thank you so much for meeting us here, Marine Mammal Care Center. Tell us, what is your role here? What do you do?
Yeah, thank you for visiting. So I am a marine biologist with the Marine Mammal Care Center. I focus in on making sure that our operations are running well every day and also our educational components.
Awesome. Now, about how many animals do you have here?
We have right now a little over 90 animals. We had over 100 just a little while ago. So we're on the downturn, releasing animals now, but we have still a lot of animals here today.
Great, let's go take a look at them. I can't wait.
Yeah. So these are all, believe it or not, animals that have just recently weaned from mom. Most of the animals that we have with us today are animals, they're not necessarily babies. They were born, nursed with mom for 6 to 12 months if they're a California sea lion, a month if they're elephant seal, month and a half if they're a harbor seal.
Okay.
And then they're weaned and on their own. And then it's our job to get them healthy and get them back out into the ocean. So primarily we feed herring. So herring is something that we're able to get in bulk, frozen in 25-pound blocks. So it's kind of the perfect food for us, and it's the perfect food for them as well. Then releasing these animals out into the wild is the best thing afterwards.
I imagine that has to be so gratifying.
Absolutely,
to see them get back in the water on their own.
It's like graduation day, you know, they go out on their own.
Okay, and now these are seals.
Sea lions, actually. A couple different ways you can tell, and this guy right here is giving us great examples. So one way that you can tell is if you look at his rear flippers, you can see they're rotated underneath his body.
Yes.
So only sea lions can do that, or the
Okay.
odorryots. That's the scientific grouping.
The odoryots.
You also see he's got those large front flippers that he can balance on. And then you see what he's scratching right now is, her ear. So that external ear flap on the sides of their heads is another way that we can tell the difference. So if a sea lion can rotate its rear flippers underneath its body, if we look at our seals here, you can notice their flippers are just kind of stretched out behind them.
Right.
And that's where they're going to stay.
Okay.
They're not going to be able to come underneath. And then they have these short little front flippers. So they swim with their rear flippers, they steer and scratch with their front flippers, but when they move on land, they have to inch around on their belly like a worm.
And everyone was asking about the term for how they get across the ground. Is it galumping?
Almost. It's galumphing.
Galumphing. Okay.
That's what we call it when a seal is inching around.
They sort of
on their
inchworm their way through.
You know, they can move surprisingly fast with that. But they're not going to be climbing, you know, or anything like that. Whereas the sea lions, they can, get about, on rocks and jetties and up on buoys and all that kind of stuff.
Right. So these guys are not doing that.
A lot of times, these animals, when they're born, mom will nurse. As good mammal moms do.
Right.
But then she'll also go out to forage, and she'll leave them on the shoreline. Sometimes people will see them on the shoreline and think that they're abandoned because mom's not there. And they'll go to try to do something good by rescuing them, but in the end, they're actually picking up a wild animal, and mom's going to abandon them after that.
Right. Well, that's good to know that they will leave their babies on the beach while they go and feed and hunt, because if I saw one of these little guys, I would be worried.
And the first action to take if you're worried is to give distance, right? We tell people, give them at least 50 feet so that they can have the space that they deserve as wildlife. And that's the best thing to do. And then we'll come assess the situation, let know if it's an animal that needs to be rescued or not, and then take matters after that. Well, thank you for visiting. Some of the most important things to remember is that Marine Mammal Care Center is here because of the support of people from our local communities and beyond. Helping us to do our work means more than just making a donation. It means helping us with that broader mission, like fighting climate change and other challenges, because we want these animals to go back to a healthy ocean.
Absolutely, get down here in person to see Marine Mammal Care Center yourself. They are open to the public Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 10 to 4. Admission is free, donations appreciated.
Absolutely.
They've got an awesome gift shop. Get here, check it out, visit them on their website and on their Instagram, and come back and join us next time for the next episode of ADTV.